Okay, so it's been about a half hour or so since I gave the Subaru 360 van a wash job, its first wash job after its paint job I think I painted it 3 or 4 years ago, but I'm getting really excited. And like I say, I just washed it and I couldn't wait. I'm already starting to cut and buff. And I don't know if many people out there know what cutting and buffing is, but I'm going to demonstrate it. First of all, you need a bright light like this here. This is a Harbor Freight or Home Depot cheap inefficient light. It's about 1,000 watts. It's halogen. It's really bright. But the key to that is you need to be able to see the reflection. When you shine the light in the paint, it reflects back any flaws, just like the sun does. We're in the shop here. It's dark outside. There's no sun. But with these lights right here, you have effectively an artificial sun. So getting back to the cutting and buffing, you need a few little tools. What I noticed when I was washing the van for the first time is the top felt gritty. This is, new paint. It's 3 years old, but I painted it myself. And I know I put a lot of clear on here, but just from sitting around the shop, it's gotten grit on it. Dust has fallen on it and kind of stuck in the paint. And it may have some overspray. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of that. We want a nice, shiny, glossy surface. And to do that, you got to sand it. You can tell this part is dull and this part is shiny. So this is the final clear coat that I put on. It looks pretty good. You can see the reflection of that fluorescent bulb in there. There's not a lot of trash. I was lucky there wasn't any bugs. I painted this in my makeshift booth. So, for what it is, it's not bad. But there's little tiny dimples and little bits of just debris that I'm not happy with. So what you got to do is you got to take the surface down, level it. You can see right there's a little dimple. All that is that's the clear coat, the clear of the clear coat that's a little lower than what I've sanded. And how we do that is actually pretty cool. I do it all dry. A lot of people wet sand. But I use these 3M hookets. They're finishing film. They're fine film. You can see this is a 600 grit, 800 grit, 1200 grit. Well, it should go like this. 1,000 grit, 1200 grit, 1500. And you can sand in that sequence. And you just take your DA, which is a dual orbiting, it's where it orbits double. So not only does it rotate around, but it oscillates. Dual action, I believe is what it's called. And this is called interference pad. I've got a double interference pad, which is an extra squishy pad, so if you get to a body line, you don't just burn through it. It's got a little bit of cush. But you simply just take one of these pads, and I'll demonstrate it for you. This will be 1,000 grit. These are expensive, but they're well worth it. I think they're about $1 a piece. They've got a furry side, which is the hook and loop, or I should say the hook-it side, which is velcros to this side, velcros to your DA, and the other side actually doesn't feel, it feels furry as well, but that's actually the sanding side. So you'd hook it onto your DA, you'd plug it in. I'm going to try to do this all while filming. It's kind of hard, one hand on the camera. Let's see if I can plug the sander in. There we go. You take it to your workspace. See this in the light here so you can see it. So you can see I've effectively dulled that area right there. Plug this, and there's some white dust. You just take your rag, or you wipe it off, and you can see there's a couple little pock marks there. I've got to get down to where those pock marks are no more. The more I sand this, the more that will go away. So there's another little imperfection right there. See that? When you get the surface flat and level, like right in this area, it will buff out to a beautiful shine. I just finished the nose here. That's what I've been working on. I want to put the emblems on soon. To do that, I need to be able to buff behind them, and I want to put the wipers on. I got to have all that stuff out of the way. I feel like I'm an advanced buffer, so I don't mind buffing up to the windshield trim. Around edges, I'm pretty good. I have a good feel for the buffer. If you're a new buffer, I would be careful, especially on edges. Just do nice flat surfaces for the beginning, and you can hand buff the others. So just wanted to share my excitement with the little chameleon van here. It's coming along. The paint is going to look beautiful. Like I said, I painted it myself, so I know that there's a lot of clear on there, and it can take a lot of buffing. But it's coming out really, really nice, and I'm getting really, really excited to drive it and show it off. Thank you for watching, and tune in again.